Hey everybody, welcome back to the Adventure Archive. We had 100 subscribers, so thank you guys. If you're new people watching, just finding us, we had to kind of crawl our way back up from the bottom since we've separated the channel. So appreciate the subs. And speaking of which, don't forget to like the stream if you're watching right now, or like the VOD if you're watching in the past. And thank you to man, I always forget the check the description. I got the link down below for the soundtrack we're listening to, courtesy of Heimat der Katastrophe. Go check them out for all of your dungeon synth needs. Who do we got in chat? We got Sam as always. What's going on, man? We got Bunny, Cats Likes. Just in time. I didn't miss anything. You made it just in time. So I guess we'll do a brief recap before we get into this thing. So you guys, you went to Isthmus Town and you talked to the Reeve, Mr. Trellis, and found out some information about, through his little apprentice guy, the guy he's got working in the inn, Drum. He had some juicy info for you that you went to go investigate. You went up to the Deadmill, which is an abandoned mill, and there you found an old man who was dropping into the quicksand over and over and over again, dying and coming back to life. Sparrow, she braved the interior of the appears to be sinking mill and rescued him. However, he thought that you guys were brigands because you smell and look of the city, perhaps. I guess except Ash. Ash looks like he's of the wood, and he tried to flee to this copse of trees, but Sparrow, she won his trust. And so I think that's where we're going to begin, everybody, tonight. So everybody else, I guess, is more or less where their tokens are, off the road to a degree. But Sparrow did chase Jandy off into the forest, and she is, I guess, leading him by the hand out.
Yeah,
so would you guys like
she's convinced him that she is not what he thought they were, and by the hand is bringing him back out to the road so that she can meet up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, so he follows you out. He's a bit hesitant still, almost recoiling from the bright sun as you guys leave the trees, and he's kind of eyeing the rest of the party, who is dispersed somewhat. It looks like Erasmus is near the edge of the almost sinkhole, the mill, and then Ash and Rune are a little bit further back on the road. So he's kind of looking at your configuration as if this is are they gonna jump me kind of position or strategy. But yeah, he still follows you out, Sparrow.
Okay. Probably closer to where Ash is standing than towards the sinking mill.
Okay. Yeah, so he's kind of sticking close to you. And he's pretty quiet. It appears as if he's waiting for someone to say something to further quell his fears, perhaps.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm going to break off a half of one of my rations and give it to him, just to kind of show that we're not going to kill him.
Okay, so you break off a piece and you hand it over. He looks at it, and says, thank you, boy, but I'm not very hungry now. I swear I've just gotten here, and I have... Actually, inside, I left some of my items, and I have some food in there. But again, very, very much appreciated.
How did you come to be out here?
Oh well, I came to document this lovely landscape here near the stone forest, and I'm a historian of sorts. And well, I heard of this old mill out here, and decided to give it a look-see, and it's quite interesting, actually. It appears to be sinking into the ground. It's quite dangerous. He pats his belly. I thought maybe I would fall through the floor and lucky me, you came along.
How long do you think that you've been here? When did you arrive?
Oh, well, let me think. It's I have a room at the stuffed inn, and I think that was yesterday. I headed out here. I was supposed to come and gather the tithe, take it back to the cities, but my own selfish interests lead me out here so I can, document some of these beautiful locales. But I was supposed to leave. I should be leaving tomorrow. Well, why do you ask?
How many days has it been? Do we know how long when he had left?
I don't think you asked about Jandy. I think you talked to Drum, and he gave you this weird rumor about this place, but I don't think. I can't remember if you guys asked, because you didn't talk to Trellis. You didn't talk to Trellis about it, right?
No,
about
and
him.
I think we were surprised by him being out here.
Yeah,
but I don't think we wanted to ask about Jandy since we stuck in his room and went through all of his stuff.
Yeah. So I think, if I remember correctly, this is the problem, folks, when you play games once a week and don't watch the VOD. I know Joey watches them. I need to start getting the habit of doing that. But yeah, let's just say, I don't think you guys learned anything about the timetable regarding Jandy.
I'm gonna wave over Erasmus. Erasmus, come here, please. Kind of like, I don't know how far away we are from each other, but
He slowly looks to the left, to the right, like puts both hands on his chest, like me.
of course, yes.
He shuffles
you.
over.
I guess I would. I don't know if I would want to tell Jandy that he was stuck in this like time loop kind of thing.
Hey, Johnny, go look over there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll meet him. As Erasmus is walking over, I'll tell him, "Stay here. I'll be right back," and I will walk over to him.
Okay, so he stays behind.
Yeah.
Kind of looking at the tall Howard Stern like figure.
What are you looking at?
You want an autograph or something?
As Sparrow is walking towards me, I pull my shirt open and peek down to see if my necklace is glowing.
So I will say that your necklace has, now that you've approached Sparrow and you're away from the mill, it's dimmed somewhat. I'll say it's still somewhat active, but it's not as strong as it was when you were near the mill.
So when we get close enough to where we're kind of out of earshot of Jandy, I'll say, have you ever seen anything like that time loop that he was stuck in? Do you know anything about that?
No. It's very peculiar to me. Though, take a look at this. Look down my shirt. Look. Just look.
What am I looking for? Do you have...
hold on. He kind of looks behind him back at the cottage. He takes like 5 steps backwards. All right. Now come look at it. Come look at this.
What am I looking for?
You see how it's glowing down in there?
Do I see a little glow down his down his shirt?
Yeah, down his shirt. Yeah, this is gonna be a great clip.
Oh yes, it looks like you have something there.
Well, you see, when the blacksmith found me, he found me with this rock, and it glows whenever there's something magical around.
Oh, very interesting.
So it's definitely, it's magical. And then he closes his shirt back.
Thank you. Okay. So something magical going on at the mill, but you're not sure what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking around for those cats that hunter told us about. We're near woods. We got to be careful.
Yes, we do. But you're right. I don't hear anything. Listening, I don't think, because I think it was described as like a
tick tick ticks, like a ticking sound.
Yeah.
That's the sound that right before they attack, allegedly, from this guy.
So it could either be this magical clock that goes back in time, or it's just the fact that the house is like sinking in the sand and it's creaking. I don't know.
Okay.
That's also, by the way, that's also why Erasmus was still close to the house. I meant to ask this at the end of last session. He wanted to listen to, does he hear that ticking sound when he was near the house still? Or has the ticking sound gone away?
That pop you were hearing,
the popping
drum was
sound.
talking about. Yeah, you haven't heard anything.
Okay, so
Yeah.
as soon as the scrivener was away from the house and it wasn't re-looping anymore, I no longer heard the popping sound.
Exactly.
I relay that information to you, Sparrow.
Okay. Okay. Doesn't sound like it was the ticking sound from the cats. Different type of sound, maybe. I'm not sure what that was, but maybe it had to do with that loop that he was stuck in. Okay. I'll walk back over to the group.
Okay.
Erasmus is going to walk closer to the scrivener.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got his hand on his shirt and he's going to get closer and he's like, relax, I'm just looking. And he pulls his shirt open and he's going to get like within, less than arm's reach of this guy. Is it glowing more?
No.
Or is it like dimmer?
The further you get away from the mill, the dimmer it gets.
And so he's just looking down his shirt and looking at this guy. Interesting. And he closes his shirt back.
Yeah, Jandy seems a little confused. He almost like he keeps raising his finger and then his mouth starts moving like he's going to say something and then he decides against it.
And then Erasmus
Your
will shuffle.
Magic nipples, apparently.
Yeah, he'll shuffle back down here.
Okay. So he starts inching toward the group. He's off by this little tree off to the side, and he kind of inches a little bit closer as you guys gather around. Would you like to have a look inside? It's fascinating in there. It's not safe, though, not for too many. As I said myself, is nearly too much. The floor is uneven and creaky and sinking, and I can only guess as to what would happen if too many of us were inside. But I have some things in there if you don't mind. Perhaps helping an old man gather them.
Why don't I go in and get them for you? That way, it looked like the area around there is rather dangerous. I wouldn't want you to fall in anywhere around that sand.
Stick to the west entrance. That I think is the safest. The one you took me through.
I think Sparrow will look at the group and will say, does anybody want to accompany me inside, just in case? I don't want to run into anything.
I can come with.
Okay. So I'll start walking over in that direction towards the western side of the building.
Okay. So you go back the way you came and look inside the mill. You don't see anything amiss. There's just darkness with some patches of sunlight dappling through the broken roof. But other than that, there's no sounds, no real sights that you haven't seen before.
Okay, I will enter the building.
Okay, you go inside, and sure enough, the floor creaks like you remember. It's kind of bowing with your weight a bit. But you see this this millstone. It's a large millstone. It's pretty much taking up most of the room, and it's attached to this like metallic machinery of some kind. And you do spot there is a small leather satchel leaning against the south wall. That's the one where it looks to be the most dangerous. But you guess this is probably Jandy's stuff.
I will look over to Ash and I'll say, in case maybe you should stay right here in case something happens. Whatever got him caught and whatever that was, that way you can do something should that happen to me.
I'm going to actually. Okay. Did we ever establish how long the Briar vine was?
I think it's just like whip length, so I don't know. What is that? Maybe...
It's like 12 feet at least.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, about 12 feet, I guess.
Okay. Ash is going to hand that out, just in case I need to, like, pull you out or anything.
Okay, so you have your whip at the ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hold on to one end of it.
Okay. Yeah, you walk in, and like I said, you don't think you're gonna fall through. You can tell the floor is creaking and stuff, but it's probably based on you've been in some shady buildings before.
Yeah.
So based on your knowledge, you think that your weight alone is probably pretty safe.
Okay, I'll creep over to the bag, watching the floor, making sure I don't accidentally step on anything. And once I get there, I'll like crouch over it and I'll open it up and kind of peek inside to see what's inside of it.
Okay, you grab the satchel, and inside you find a dagger, a notebook, another book that is. It's more like it looks like it's a little bit more weathered. It looks like this one notebook that he has is probably where he's sort of keeping records of things. It's more of a journal shape, and this other one's a little bit taller, as if it's the height of the page is more important. And you also find rations. There's a couple of rations left, 2 days worth, a torch, and you also see some gold pieces twinkling at the bottom of the bag.
Ooh.
Oh, I guess we got whip lengths here. 329 feet, 7.5 inches. That is the longest whip in recorded history. That must be the whip that Ash has, in case you guys...
Yeah, it's gotta be, right?
In case somebody falls down a well or something.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to have...
I mean, you always have to be ready for adventure,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it'd be in Sparrow's nature. I don't know if she would be able to resist taking that, looking at that gold and kind of maybe taking one or two of the pieces, not all of them. But
yeah. Just make note of how much you take. Yeah. So there are, I guess you take the time to count them. There are 23 gold pieces in there. So it's up to you. Okay. Take 5.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Just a couple.
Okay. And she'll like flip through the books just to see if there's anything in the pages or like towards the end if he was keeping any records, if it says anything that like stands out.
Yeah, well, you see in the notebook that's more journal shaped, let's say. It looks like he's taking notes. The freshest entry is titled "The Lumber Trade: A History."
Oh.
So makes sense why he's in a mill. And the other notebook, the one that's a little taller and narrower, it appears to be a tithing record. So you see a bunch of notes of money that are, tithing basically. That is he's keeping track of. That's being probably taken back to the cities.
Okay. Not spending too much time dwelling on that, on the tithing record and how much. money it was.
But that's pretty much
she'll-
all the information you find in the books. Yeah.
Okay, so she'll pack it back in about as well as it was, and then we'll pick it up, look around, and see if there's anything else in the room of interest.
Yeah. So you kind of make your way around, and like I said, it's just this millstone that is attached to this metallic machinery, and you also see that the lever that turns the stone it's rotted away.
Okay.
And so you can tell like the grindstone can no longer be turned. But as you're kind of looking around, you sense a disturbance in the almost like the pressure of the air near the actual millstone. So it's this massive stone sitting on this, base, but the air feels different here. It's almost kind of static, almost as if as well as it's kind of like there's a magnetic pressure in a way. Like if you have two magnets opposing each other, it's like this weird feeling. It's not so strong that you can't get close, but there's something about this millstone or thereabouts that is feels it's getting your attention.
Okay. She'll kind of hold her breath a little bit in case, just aware of what might be in the air, and she will kind of creep a step closer and wait, and then step another step towards this millstone. Okay. And she in one hand, so she has his pack over one shoulder, and she's holding onto the whip with one of her hands.
Okay.
And she's kind of creeping slowly closer to the millstone.
Okay. Yeah, you creep closer, and this the sensation you feel grows in strength. You don't see anything though. There's nothing visual that you can see. But again, there's this massive stone kind of sitting on this pedestal, and there's probably, there's a bit of a groove underneath it. But yeah, you don't see anything outside of that.
Okay. She'll reach out with her free hand and she'll touch the surface of the millstone.
Yeah, it feels like stone with the exception of a little bit of almost like a static electric kind of sensation on your fingertips.
Okay. Okay. She will remove her hand and then turn and begin walking back towards the west end, the doorway.
Okay. So you head back.
Yep.
All right. So you make it out safely with the satchel.
Yeah. There was something very strange about the millstone, as if the air was there's an electricity to the air when I grew closer to it, but nothing happened whenever I got right up to it. I'll say to Ash.
And if I didn't mention it before, there is a drier riverbed to the north that kind of borders the stone forest. But you guys haven't been over there yet. But you can you got a sense on the interior that there is this riverbed.
We should investigate further.
Yes. I want to ask Jandy about that, but maybe everybody could come over and take a look at it. I'd like this if Erasmus has some sort of his magical amulet. Be interested to see what happens when he gets very close to it.
Is that what he had you look at?
Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure at first. I thought maybe he had a rash or something.
He asked me one time too.
Did you look?
No.
Okay, I think it's just a necklace.
Well, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, it's probably safer that way.
All right, we should tell the others.
Okay. We'll walk back over.
Okay. Oh, my things. I think.
Yes. Undisturbed. And we'll hand them over.
All right. He kind of weighs it in his arm and smiles and
I smile back pleasantly.
Tucks it to his side. He kind of goes through it a little bit, but he doesn't see nothing seems amiss. He pulls out his notebook and puts it to his chest as if it's the most precious thing that he owns.
So, Before we showed up, before you saw me approach you, what is the last thing you remember happening to you when you were inside of the building?
Let me think here. I saw something. Yes. I entered the building from the west. Yes, that's right. From the west, the safe side, the side that you saved me from, and I saw these beautiful paddles, the fine paddles of the mill through the east window, and then I went through the southern door to investigate, and that's it. I fell, and then strangely I was back inside. It must have been a dream, must have been a trick of the light and shadow, or maybe I needed to eat something or drink something, but yes, I went into the west. I saw some curious paddles through the eastern window, and then went to the south to investigate, and that's all I remember.
When he says east, we're talking east as like how we see it, right?
Yeah.
Like that window?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say paddles, what do you describe the paddles that you saw?
The water wheel in the riverbed. They were perfect, which is strange because this, as you can see, this entire place is falling apart.
And we can see the east side of this building, and there's no paddles there. Is that?
Yeah, let's just say he saw like these paddles over here.
Okay.
I know it's kind of a weird map, but
Gotcha. Okay. Oh,
the paddles are on the water wheel. Let's just say that.
gotcha. Okay. Well, and she looks to the others. I suppose we might take a look around. Are you all finished? Were you going to head back to town?
Yeah. I feel like I just got here. If you don't mind, I would like to have a look around a little bit more. I feel like there's some other things to observe that I may take some notes.
Okay. She'll look to everybody. What should we do? What should our next move be?
This toast definitely needs to be buttered. Let's go. I'm interested in looking a little further past the mill. But let's not put too much butter, because then we'll tear it. And nobody likes teared toast. It's horrible.
Okay. Well, there was something very peculiar about the millstone inside.
Well, then let's check that out. Yeah. I want to put my stone near it.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so you guys are
everybody
heading
wanna
back into the west, and then
Yeah, I'm around.
how many? Is it just Erasmus and Sparrow? Is that it? What's Rune up to? Is she
I'll
going
go
too,
too.
or
Yeah.
you're gonna go too?
Yeah, Ash will join you.
Yeah, Jandy, he keeps to the edge of the hole, let's call it, and he keeps somewhat of a distance, just scribbling in his little notebook, looking around at various other things. Okay, so you guys are, who's going inside, or is anybody going inside?
I'll go inside.
Okay, Erasmus, you walk inside. You see this massive millstone dominating the center of the room. The floor is very creaky and bows with your weight.
I definitely like grasp my tummy slightly, a little hurt. But of course, I actually pull the necklace out this time.
Yeah, you take the necklace out, and it is shining like the noonday sun. It is just almost blinding as you stand in this room.
There's something really, really powerful about this place.
And you sense that same, that same sensation of the like staticky pressure air near the millstone.
Then yeah, I want to.
And the mechanism, like I mentioned, that controls this thing, this machinery, looks like it's broken. But you can follow the mechanism leading to the water wheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
which
that.
Still seems to be somewhat intact.
Because I want to. Erasmus wants to look at it from a. Because he grew up with a blacksmith, so he knows about working with tools and stuff. He wants to look at it like in the idea of, is there any way to fix this? Does he think that that's possible?
You deduce that there is enough mechanism left to turn to move the millstone, but the automatic aspect of it, let's say the metal machinery has been damaged. But if you were to manually move this thing, you think potentially the millstone would move.
Okay.
And you do know that, of course, it's driven by the paddles on the water wheel.
Right, which there's no water, so.
No water. It's a dry riverbed.
While you're doing that, while you're inside looking at the millstone, I think that Sparrow will kind of creep along the rocks down towards the actual wheel.
Okay.
To kind of take a look at that, since Jandy mentioned it.
Yeah.
She'd kind of want to see how this thing looked. If it's kind of like, does it look different from how the rest of this mill is kind of falling apart?
Yeah, it's very strange because, like he said, there are no signs of rot whatsoever. They are painted a brilliant white as well. That is not chipped. It's not weathered. It's not crumbling away at all. So it's a very harsh contrast compared to the state of the rest of the structure. And are you like examining this closely, or are you just kind of like getting a quick gander? What's the...
No, I think at this point she'd get up close and kind of actually maybe touch it. And just like kind of very, very curious about how strange this is, because she would expected this to be falling apart as well.
Yeah. So you start investigating this water wheel and the paddles, and you find that one of these paddles has a strange script etched on it. Something that you've never seen before, that you cannot read.
Okay. She'll kind of look a little closer and maybe look at it from different angles to see if it was like spun the other way, if it would be readable.
No, yeah, you kind of like tilt your head and look at different directions and stuff, but it appears to be some archaic script and not necessarily the vantage that you're reading it by.
Okay. So she might look over at the others and see what they're doing. If Ash and Rune and Jandy are all like kind of, what are they looking at?
Yeah, so Jandy, he's kind of almost like he's, surveying the land. He's jotting in his notebook, slowly circling his way around, heading a bit north toward the he seems a little bit more attached to you, Sparrow, because you kind of earned his trust first. But he's kind of making his way around, jotting notes, maybe making little sketches and stuff. But what about Rune and Ash and Erasmus? Well, I guess Erasmus on the inside. What are you two guys doing?
Ash will probably follow Jandy as well.
Okay. So he kind of seems he periodically looks over his shoulder as you're this towering figure that looks and I guess smells of the wood. So he's a little bit hesitant at your approach, but he doesn't run away or anything like that.
Every time he makes eye contact, Ash is just gonna give him this big old grin.
Okay. He kind of recoils a bit every time you do it. What about Rune? What is she up to as the rest of the people are investigating this area?
She'll walk up here and get a closer look at the stone.
Yeah, you see the same things. So, I mean, I guess you, as your profession or your background, you're probably quite a bit interested in this kind of mechanism, I would guess, right? Or no? Or are you mostly into potions and stuff?
I mean, she's mostly into potions, but yeah, she's interested.
Yeah, so you make your way around and Sparrow, and you catch sight of these pristine paddles on this water wheel, and you also do notice that on one of them there is this archaic a script that is etched there. Very out of place, it seems. To your knowledge, to anyone or Sparrow's knowledge, you don't. It doesn't seem to be common practice to write archaic scripts on water wheels.
Sparrow will kind of get out of the way of it so that Rune can get a good look at what that script is. I don't recognize this. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Not sure. Let me take a closer look. How's she?
Go ahead.
How's she?
No. Yeah, so it's definitely some strange archaic script that you've never been exposed to.
I'm afraid not.
Maybe as a scholar, our new friend has might recognize it.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of look up at Jandy and we'll say, Jandy, please, I found something. Can you come take a look, please?
Oh, of course. Yes. And he kind of, has a little bit of trouble making his way down the bank into the riverbed. That is also, I forgot to mention, it's there's a lot of leaves and detritus and stuff, piles of it around this area that were possibly at one point flowing down water that once existed here. But he heads over, kind of kicking his way through leaves and things. What is it you found here? Oh, of course, the paddles. That's what I was looking at through the east window. Fascinating.
They're magnificent. They're brand new.
I know, it's so strange. Odd. It's very odd. What do you make of it?
Well, I'm actually not quite sure. But what I wanted to show you was this strange script, this writing, a carving in one of the paddles, and I will kind of show him. Come closer, take a look.
Okay, so he gets closer. He squints at it. By the gods, I haven't seen this writing in many years. So strange. There's so many mysteries out here in the woods and in the wilderness. But I can read it. Just give me a moment. So he's kind of tapping his lip and scratching his head and thinking it, and he kind of thinks he has something, and then he's like, no, that's not it, scratch that. But eventually he says, well, this makes absolute sense now. It's so strange that this would be written here, though. I don't understand. It's almost as if someone left this as a note to themselves. But what it says is, to prime, to turn counterclockwise. I can only imagine it means the paddles on this water wheel. I don't know what turning them counterclockwise would do, but that is what is written here. And Sparrow, as you're taking this information in, you feel a vibration, like a slight vibration on the under your boots in the riverbed. First, you think it's just you're anxious based on the news that Jandy gave you, but you can definitely tell that it is it's the ground itself vibrating gently.
Do you feel that? And I look at Jandy as I kind of steady myself, looking around to see if maybe something is coming.
Tremors. No. So he comes over. He's like, "Where? Show me where. What is it you mean?"
Do you not feel the ground shake?
No. Where? Show me where. I don't feel it where I'm standing.
I'm gonna step out and
Show him exactly
lead him over to stand where I was standing.
He says, "Oh, I feel it. That is quite strange." And he gets down on his hands and knees and starts feeling the ground in a very intricate manner. Starts kind of scooping leaves away and brushing dirt away. No. Oh, look, it gets stronger the more you walk this way. And he kind of waddles over on all fours. And he leans over and he's kind of digging Jumanji the board game. Yeah, he's digging in the leaves and all of the stuff that the water had left behind, and he immediately leaps back and falls on his backside. Oh my, there's something there! And he points to a spot, and you see a hint of light underneath leaves. It's like flickering and bounding around, and there's little rays of this white hot light shooting up through the leaves. And again, it's a pile of leaves, and there's some sticks and stones and stuff around there, but he almost like he's like nursing his finger like he touched a hot stove.
Did it burn you?
Yes, it's quite powerful. I don't know what it is though. It's burning bright hot.
I will reach down and pick up one of the sticks that's laying there, and go and kind of lean forward and kind of sweep some of the leaves away.
Okay.
See if I can get a better look at
yeah,
what it
you
is.
sweep some of the leaves away, and you find that there is a small pit that's been somewhat excavated, and it appears as if this has been covered over, like someone intentionally hid this thing in there. And what this thing is it's a cage. It's an iron cage. And inside that iron cage, you can see through the bars, is just this bright white light. And it's almost as if there is a core to it, a center to it, as if the hottest point is moving around frantically inside. And you can see as soon as it bounds up against the wall or gets close to the wall, you hear almost this inhuman whimpering sound. That's the only way you can describe it. It's like pain. It's like a response to pain.
Okay.
But yeah, because it's an iron cage, bright light inside. It's submerged somewhat in the earth, and then it had been concealed by leaves and sticks.
Being from the woods, have I seen anything like that?
Yeah, if you go
Before?
over there, of course, you can go take a look. So, Ash, as you approach, everybody's kind of in a half circle around this thing, trying to wonder what the hell it is. You have definitely seen or at least heard of these things. And you know exactly what's going on. So, it appears to be a will-o'-the-wisp trapped in an iron cage. And you know that the folk of the forest, let's say, are very iron hurts them.
Ooh, okay. Ash is gonna yell out that it's in pain, and that we need to free it, but also relaying exactly what you said as well.
Okay.
Where did you touch that burned you, to Jandy? Was it just the bars of this cage?
I don't remember. I was digging in the leaves and I saw a light and I reached out foolishly, mind you, and I felt a burn on my finger. Whatever it is not happy.
Looking at the cage, does it look? Is there a cage door or a lock that we can see?
Yeah, so I guess you kind of move around it and look at all of the edges you can see. Yeah, it appears as if this thing has a little door on the side with a latch.
Okay. Looking at Ash, I will say, is it safe to free this creature? Is that what we must do?
Are will-o'-the-wisps generally known as harmless?
Well, so will-o'-the-wisp, I guess, I don't know how they are in this game, but let's just say in a fantasy realm, they exist to kind of lure people to their deaths in bogs and stuff. But as far as being creatures that will attack you outright, not that you know of.
Huh.
They more or less indirectly cause pain, to your knowledge, let's say. But you deduce that this thing, getting a closer look, that this thing is an absolute agony trapped inside this lamp.
Ash is gonna say, "Don't follow it once you free it, but it should be harmless."
I noted, and I will lean over and I will, like into the pit. I'll reach my hand in to see if I can reach the lock of the little door.
Yeah, I'll say you can reach down in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will then. Is the door locked? I will check.
Yeah, there's a little lock on it. At first you didn't recognize it, but because it's so small and almost like camouflaged into the iron bars, but there is a mechanism that requires some picking or breaking, I guess, whatever you think.
Well, I guess I will try to grab it and pull it a little bit to see if I can pull the cage a little bit.
Yeah, you can, of course. Yeah, there's like, again, it's an iron cage that's kind of vaguely shaped like a lantern.
Okay.
And so it has a top, so you can grab the top, and iron is harmless to you.
Yeah, I was afraid I would burn myself on it.
Oh,
so,
no. Yeah.
Okay, so I will pull it out of the pit.
Yeah, you take it down, and everybody has a even better look at this thing, and it's clearly a glowing ball of light that it appears. Ash, you've never seen a will-o'-the-wisp so big. Like, it's grown too big for its cage, even though they're not supposed to be in cages.
They put a will-o'-wisp. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say they put a will-o'-wisp in a lantern-shaped cage.
Who's they?
Yeah.
Somebody must have put it in there. I just
will,
think that's neat.
I'll go ahead and try to pick the lock.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll just let you pick it. I don't think it requires a roll because you got enough time and
Yeah.
you're not under duress. So, yeah, you pick the lock. You hear a little click.
And I will open the door. I will say,
You open the door.
Come on, my little friend. Out.
So you open the door. It slides open or rolls open, and this light just shoots out into the sky. And it's almost like it's catching its bearing, learning how to fly again, and it's hovering above, and it like kind of dips to each one of you, like trying to figure out or almost read your faces or decipher who you are. And then it appears to be satisfied, and it just blazes off into the forest, into the darkness of the forest to the north, the stone forest. And you see just treetops like shifting, leaves falling. You see some birds shooting up out of the treetops, and then everything is still again.
Well, I've never seen anything like that.
I don't know who would do such a thing.
Extraordinary.
Jandy is just like awestruck.
Yeah, if Will-O-Wisp were real, guys, they would get me, because even though I know we shouldn't follow it, I really want to follow it.
And you can
Same.
see
I would
Jandy is like
die.
furiously scribbling in his notebook. Looks like he's making all kinds of notes and sketches of this the cage, and trying to render the will-o-wisp to the best of his ability, but he's not an artist.
Is there anything else in the cage or in the pit that we pulled
No,
the cage out of?
it's an empty cage now. Nothing else in the pit. Just this somewhat stylish iron cage.
Okay. We should check and see if anything has happened with Erasmus. And
Okay.
she'll like walk back over there. She's not going to bring the cage with her. Just
Okay.
to see through the door how he's doing.
Yeah, so you what is Erasmus doing?
I think he's gonna try to activate the grind wheel
Okay, so
just to see what it does. He's gonna try to do
how
it
you-
manually.
how are you going to do it? Like with you're going to go out and turn the wheel outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go out and you start to turn it. I don't know if anyone disclosed any of the information they learned. Yeah? Okay. So you are told that there, and shown, I guess, that there is a script on the paddles that says, to prime, turn counterclockwise. You're like, I'm going to turn it clockwise.
I don't know if I've ever seen a clock. Probably.
Yeah. We'll say Or you can roll for it and see what happens.
Nah. He's seen a clock before. He lived in the big city with his blacksmith
Fair enough.
adopted father. But he definitely. He says, "Wow, a will-o-wisp out here in a dry riverbed. That's really weird. We should follow it."
Oh, it's gone. It's into within the forest. We could try maybe, but I don't know of a way to track something that flew like that.
No, we shouldn't follow it. I was wrong. I had it backwards. No, we don't follow it.
Okay. Yes.
Well, help me turn this wheel, because it looks like it could turn, but the automation of it is busted. There's rust. It's bad, but we could probably physically move it ourselves. Let's see what happens, because there's something magical, very magical about it.
Okay, so Sparrow will get on the other side to help turn it.
Okay, you guys, with your strength, your powers combined, you turn the water wheel, and it moves. It starts lifting up some debris and all that's been here for a long time, but it does. Dust is starting to trickle down from the axle, and it just twists and twists and twists, and you hear a distinct grinding sound in the interior of the mill.
Somebody should go check that out while we're turning it.
All right, I'll do it. Do I have to do anything to get into the mill? Isn't it sinking?
No, the west side is relatively safe. You've seen Erasmus and Sparrow both go inside. But yeah, as you go inside, you can definitely tell the floor is a bit uneven and it's sinking to the southward side. But yeah, you go in, you see this massive millstone, and it is Well, I guess you would know it's moved, but it has moved because you haven't been in here yet. And there is a glowing, faintly thing coming from near, like underneath the millstone where it was.
Another wisp. She'll come back out and let them know there's a glowing under the stone. Maybe there's more wisps.
Well, I don't want to stop turning the wheel. Can those not turning go see what this, if there's another wisp that needs to be freed, perhaps? As like she's like pushing the wheel up. And
I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna tell Jandy to stay with you guys. Am I
Okay, yeah,
able to fit in here without breaking through the floor?
What do you mean? Like you want to walk inside, or?
Yeah, if I were to walk inside, will the floor support me?
Yeah. It was
Okay.
just like, it seems like if there's a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go inside, you see the millstone. You've already been in here, so you can see that it has shifted its position. And there's a very faint light coming from underneath it.
Does it look like I'd be able to move it?
Well, so it's like if you get, are you just going all the way up to the millstone?
I'm gonna start slowly approaching.
Yeah, you start slowly approaching. You can see that this light is actually coming from behind where the stone was. So when you kind of circle around this area, you can see that there is an object sitting there.
Does it look similar to the lantern cage?
No, it does not.
Oh.
It is a circular object, almost like a gyroscope in a way. It's got these concentric circles going around it, but it's sitting there. It kind of looks like it's made of like a brass material, and it's giving off like a very faint glimmery light.
They don't make those in the woods. Do you know what that is?
I'm gonna take a closer look. Does she have any idea?
No, you take a look at it. You don't quite know what it is. You do know that it has mystical, magical properties, though. And you deduce that based on the configuration of these concentric circles that kind of rotate around each other, you deduce that perhaps this object has to do with time, something to do with time. Whether it stores time, stops time, tracks time, you're not quite sure, but let's say the artistry of this thing gives you a very like time vibes.
Okay. I'll go back out. So wait, sorry. Does it seem like
And it's about the size of like a little bit smaller than a baseball, I guess, like between a baseball and a golf ball.
does it seem like it's being their turning is making it turn?
No. So you were never inside, but I'll just say that it seems like that the stone has moved. So let's just say there was dust and things collecting around it. So the millstone itself has rotated from its resting place, and this thing was underneath it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, HUD
So-
lump, so it's about a tennis ball size. That's a good way to look at it.
Okay. So she'll go outside and I guess stop. The stone moved and there's some kind of clock device underneath. Which is very interesting considering how we found Jandy here.
Does the wheel want to keep on turning, or does it get to a point and then stop?
You can, yeah, you could keep turning it if you like. It seems to turn freely, albeit with some effort with both of you at the wheel.
I'll stop turning.
Okay. Because, yeah, it's just a millstone. It's going to, like, you know, grind around and around and around, pretty much.
Okay.
I think that's how they work anyway.
Yeah, let's go see what that is. Jandy, allow me to help you up the bank. And she'll hold out an arm to assist him going back up.
Okay.
And we'll go to where we can get to the entrance of the
The
mill
the west side?
through the western
Yeah,
side and
Okay.
take a look. I don't want everybody to go inside at the same time, I guess, but she'll get to that point, I guess, with Jandy, and then she'll go inside with Ash to see this object.
Okay. Yeah, you go inside, and like I said, you see this strange gyroscopic looking brass object glimmering. It's kind of hard to tell now if it was if it's emitting its own light or if it's just catching a ray of sunlight or something like that.
Have you touched it? To Ash. Has it been moved?
No, I haven't gotten close enough yet.
Okay, she'll creep closer and then go and she'll pick it up.
Okay, you pick it up. It does have that weird static kind of pressure with some kind of resistance. You feel it in the palm of your hand. But yeah, it doesn't do anything else.
Okay. She'll pick it up and then she will turn and hold it out in front of herself towards Ash.
Okay.
And then she will walk with it like kind of outstretched in front of her back outside and take it outside of the mill.
Okay. So where are you guys all collecting? Or I see Jandy and Erasmus. They're still in the riverbed. Rune looks like she's kind of in that vicinity. Are you guys
I
all...
brought John D back up with
Oh, you
me.
did?
He should
Okay.
be at the door also.
Gotcha. Let me move him. I need more screen space. Okay, there we go. So he's around here, I guess.
Oh, what did you find?
I'm holding it out in front of me, so I will kind of like show him this small device.
Okay, you just kind of hold it out in your hands in front of him.
Yes.
So
I'm
he
not
kind of
sure what it is.
He leans over, he sniffs it, and then he squints at it. This is strange, curious indeed. Do you feel anything when you hold it? Does it leap into your
Do I?
hands? Does it sting?
No, you just feel like this pressure and this kind of static, very subtle static electric feeling, almost like a tingling on your palms, but it's not unpleasant.
There is something. As I hold it, I can feel something in my hand. It's giving off some sort of aura or something. It's hard to say, but it doesn't hurt, and I'm not exactly sure of what its purpose could be.
Doesn't it appear to be the most intricate of clocks you've ever seen? Almost as if you took a clock apart and wrapped another clock on top of it and then another upon another. It's so strange.
Perhaps.
It's an
Now
odd
that you say that.
configuration.
Okay. I will I will walk over, kind of like head over to where Erasmus is,
Okay.
and I will say, "Is your amulet, is it reacting to this?" And I will hold it out to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
is
pulled my
definitely
amulet
glowing.
out.
Yeah, it is glowing.
See, Ash, just an amulet.
As you guys are standing here checking this thing out, you hear more trees, kind of limbs cracking and stuff behind you to the north in the stone forest. And you hear some birds like tweeting and cawing and flying out again, as if there's more disturbance, as if this will-o'-the-wisp is just inside this forest kind of tearing it up. You even see a bit of smoke rising from the forest. Very thin plume.
What do you suppose that is? And she will hand she's gonna hold out the device to Erasmus and say, "Here, take this."
Yeah, he'll take it in his hands.
Okay, you take it and you feel that tingly sensation, but other than that, it doesn't do anything. So as you guys are you guys just still hanging out here? And then Sparrow, were you going to head off somewhere?
Definitely curious about this smoke and what's going on in the forest.
Okay.
Um,
So do you make your way, I guess, to the riverbank or the riverbed, or just kind of
Yeah.
staying where you are looking?
no, I'll start like kind of walking that way. Almost, I maybe handed that to Erasmus almost distractedly, like just like that caught my attention, and I kind of was like, well, I held it up, not even looking at it as I handed it over, and began kind of like walking slowly towards the riverbed. And I'm listening to hear if I hear anything or if I notice anything.
You do hear
Um,
something. You hear a rustling in the woods. You hear the creak of branches. You even see a hint of spark in the darkness. And you hear this tick, 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 tick sound. And you see these yellow eyes look at you from the darkness.
I will immediately reach for my dagger that are
Okay.
on my hips.
And this shadowy, lithe figure thing leaps out of the darkness into broad daylight at you. And it appears as if the hunter who you encountered spoke true. Because this strange creature leaps out of the forest onto the riverbank and starts just barreling toward you. And so now we get to try combat in Cairn. Let's see how it goes, everybody.
All right.
This is our first time doing any combat in this game system, so be patient with us. We'll all learn together. So the first thing you guys have to do, the first thing I need to do is change the music. Okay, the first thing we need to do in Cairn is do a dex check, because that determines, this is only on the first round, however, that determines if you guys are able to act or not on your turn.
Do each of us? Yeah.
Yes, everybody does. And then after that, okay, let's see what we got here. So we got Sparrow failed her dex save. She's probably just caught unaware, I guess, as this creature bursts out of the forest. Erasmus succeeds, Rune fails, and Ash succeeds. So Erasmus and Ash, you guys get to act first, and you see Sparrow standing there in the on the bank, or I guess in the riverbed, as this black creature lunges or leaps out of the forest.
All right.
What do you want to do?
Erasmus reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like this leather strap, and he looks down. Is there like a little pebble, or is there like a stone he could pick up?
Yeah, sure.
So he's gonna pick up a stone off the ground, and he's gonna start swinging this sling and try to launch the stone at this creature.
I'll assume that you have ammo for your sling, so you don't need to really go hunt around for anything.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you sling your sling. So let's talk about combat attack. So there's no attack rolls in this game. So you immediately roll your damage. And that is subtracted from HP.
Oh, I guess I gotta roll it manually.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, if you have it equipped, you should be able to click the die button on your character sheet.
I try. Oh,
Didn't
here,
work?
there's a... Okay, so there's a... Where the item is on your items list, it's to the far right is roll damage. Even though, like, when I hover over sling, it highlights, but it doesn't do anything if I click it. I gotta go to the right.
Okay, no worries. All right, so you sling this stone toward this creature of the forest, and you rolled a 3. And this creature, I believe, has no armor, because that's how it works in this game, folks. You subtract any armor value, and let me check the book really quick. I think it has 0. Yes, no armor whatsoever. So you pelt this thing.
Says, "Go on, get out of here, scram."
So it hisses at you as your stone rebounds off its back. You're able to move as well, so you can move up to 40 feet, which will just kind of, hand wave distances. I don't know if I actually made this to scale, but maybe. I don't know. It kind of feels rightish. In the ballpark. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So you threw this stone, hit this thing. A tuft of fur launches off his back, and it bristles in pain. Do you want to move, or are you going to hold your ground?
I'm good where I'm at.
Okay. So Ash, you're up next.
So Ash is gonna move up to the road.
I forgot to roll for Erasmus. Or not Erasmus, Jandy. Oh my god, he succeeded. Okay, you're going to move up toward the road.
And I'm going to use the Briar Vine to try and hold this thing in place.
All right, why don't you explain to me and the viewers exactly, because I forget what this thing does. And this isn't a road. Remember, there's like it's a riverbank, or it's a dry riverbed. So there is like a bank, and then it dips down into a flattened bed.
That's right. How deep is the bank?
I'm going to say the bank's probably like, I don't know, 3 feet maybe. So you can kind of slide down the side. You can hold your ground. This thing's probably a little... Ooh, that might be a little too far. You might have to get down into the bed to hit this thing.
Well, you got to remember his whip has a 329 foot.
That's true.
Did we look up... I feel like I need to look up whip length, but I feel like it's more like the, 7 to 8 feet?
When I said 12 feet, I was like, that's really long.
It's between
like super
yeah, it's between 5 and 8 is the whip length. So we'll just say like you got to get, within melee. Okay, this thing is snarling, hissing at you. So all you do is roll damage. That's it.
So it's interesting. The Briar Vine doesn't have damage. It it entangles any creature up to horse size. It needs to roll strength to break free.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this thing is entangled. So yeah, this whip wraps around this creature, and it's just like thrashing and clawing at this thing, trying to get it off. All right, so I guess last up is Jandy, and he's afraid. He's very afraid. He starts to look for the nearest copse of trees to hide behind. So he's stumbling his way. Oh, his way. Man, sorry. He is stumbling away in the opposite direction. Okay. Now, this cat has to roll a strength. This thrashing, trying to get out of this whip. It's its turn now. So you said a strength check?
Yeah.
Okay, it fails, unfortunately. So it is stuck. Now, after round 1 in Cairn, I believe all of you guys act first because there is no initiative. Let me double check that really quick. Yeah, so all other rounds, PCs act first, then enemies act, and we repeat. And just as a reminder, you can move up to 40 feet and do an action. I don't believe in this game you know what I should have done too? I totally forgot. Totally fumbled. Learn from my mistakes, guys. I asked what all of you guys do first, and then we do it. So rather than going around the table, so speaking of which, let's do that now. So everybody gets to go. So tell me, what are you guys all doing?
Ash is gonna continue to hold it in place.
Okay, so you're
Or at
just
least
gonna hold it?
attempt
Okay.
Yeah.
I
guess that's all you can do, right? Let's run let go.
Sparrow is gonna jump down and run at this thing, and with both of her daggers out, she's going to attempt to slice the creature with them.
Okay.
So it says with dual weapons, if I attack with 2 weapons at the same time, I roll both damage dice, and then I keep the single highest result.
Not only that, but there is a thing in this game. It is called enhanced attacks. So I will say that this is definitely an enhanced attack because this thing is trapped in a whip. So instead of rolling your normal die, you roll a d12. So in your case, since you're using 2 weapons, you're going to roll 2d12 and take the highest.
Okay.
Dang.
So now the other 2 of us will say what we are doing also, and then we all 4 go at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Erasmus is gonna jog over to where Sparrow was, the top, and sling another slug at this creature from up high, from a high point.
Okay, so you guys are all just attacking the same foe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in this game, if I remember correctly, if you are, it just takes the highest damage. So between Erasmus, Sparrow attacking, whatever Rune, what are you doing, Rune?
Let's see, I have a knife. Maybe I'll attack it too.
Okay, so everybody's attacking it. So I get the way this is going to work is you guys are all going to roll, and we're going to see whatever is the highest damage is the damage that succeeds or is deducted from the HP.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So we got a 5 with the sling from Erasmus.
I don't see where you click.
There is, if you equip your weapon, there is a little, yeah, you got to, okay, I think you equip it if you hit the hand.
Yeah.
And then, that's weird how it doesn't show a die. Where did you say it was, Erasmus? You were like looking.
Once you equip it, the icon should appear next to the hand.
I have 3
not
icons:
working?
the hand, the edit item, and
the
Oh,
trash.
you know what? You don't have damage. What is your damage for your twin
Oh,
D60? That's
yeah.
what it is. Let me fill it in for you. Plus
Okay.
D6. Yeah, because that modifier will not appear unless you actually put the...
But then he wants to roll 2d12 manually anyway because he's got an
Oh,
enhanced
that's
attack.
right. That's right. That's right. So why don't you just roll 2d12 and then I'll,
Okay.
for the future, I'll just update your damage. Let's see now. Yeah, now you got a little
Yeah,
die
it
by
appeared now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, damn. Okay. So while Ash is holding this thing, it's thrashing. It gets pelted by by a stone while it is gutted, absolutely gutted by twin blades. And you said, Rune, you're running down there as well?
Yeah, I was going to, but I can't.
You can't move? Here, I'll move you.
No, I can't click the dice either.
You gotta equip it, and then you got to.
Did equip
What's the
it.
damage on it? Do you remember? D6 probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
There. Now you gotta die.
Ah.
Yeah, if you don't add the damage to the character sheet, it doesn't know what to roll. So once you manually add that in there, it'll.
I don't even know how to add it.
I already did it for you. You just gotta click on the little die icon on your character sheet. Okay, so clearly a 12 is gonna do it. You dispatch of this creature quickly. Dead. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. Okay, all of this unfolded very, very quickly. You hear sort of hysteric sounds coming from behind you, and you can only assume that's Jandy freaking out. But this creature falls dead to the earth, and you can pull your whip free, Ash. That was quick. That was really quick. That was cool. And as you guys are standing here, you sense more movement. You hear more movement coming from the forest. And it looks like the shadows themselves are moving toward you. What do you want to do?
We should get back.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree.
So yeah, I think that Sparrow will like stand up and she'll do that thing where she flicks the dagger to like clean it, all the blood like flies off of it, and then she will retreat back with everyone else.
Okay, you guys make it back. I guess you guys keep running toward the. You climb up the bank over the side of the grassy knoll, heading toward Jandy is, I guess, in the trees. You guys are safely there so far. What do you guys want to do next? You guys want to just keep moving down the road, or are you taking shelter in the mill? What's the plan? Basically, I'm saying you guys do have time to get the hell out of here before these things come out of the forest and attack. Unless you want to fight more. It's up to you.
Maybe
Does
we
it
get
seem like
home?
Yes.
Does it feel like there's a lot of them coming in comparison to
Yeah, like
the one that came before?
let's say a pack of them, perhaps. A group of them. You think that maybe that the will-o'-the-wisp kind of stirred some things up in the forest, and we're kind of, frightening or pushing some of these creatures out, and that's maybe why they noticed you from across the way.
If they chase us, we might not be able to get that far, especially with Jandy, who maybe can't run as fast as us.
True.
Perhaps we should try to take refuge in the mill.
Yeah, you're probably right.
agreed?
Okay, you guys are all
Yeah,
going to go
Johnny
in the
will-
mill?
Yeah, well, I'll grab Johnny's arm and lead him to the door of the mill.
Okay,
and try
so
to go inside.
so Erasmus runs in first, and then Ash right behind him. Who's going in third? Sparrow, as you step in, you can tell that this floor can bear no more weight. With all the three of you in here, it begins to sink down. You hear the cracking of wood, and you know that any false step, any bad step, or any additional weight could potentially bring the floor crashing down.
Forgot about the floor.
Yeah.
Nobody else come in.
Yeah, please, Johnny, stay out there.
What? No, I must come in. They're coming from the forest.
We're no bards, but we're gonna bring the house down if we're not careful. Erasmus is gonna carefully go back out.
Okay, you make your way out. All right.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, one of the two of you should get in there where it's safe.
It appears that the floor can only bear the weight of 2. Jandy, you should definitely come inside.
Well, I'll say Sparrow, you know 3. So that is what you feel like 3 of you probably safely can be in there, but any more than that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Could it possibly be more if it's not Ash?
Because Ash and Erasmus, we're big. We're tall.
Big.
And heavy.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty much 3 people, yeah. Unless I would make a different ruling in case you had like a halfling with you or something, but everybody's human pretty much in this game, so yeah, any normal sized or bigger person.
Ash, you have the towering trait, right? Are you
towering?
Yeah. We're both towering. We're tall.
So you guys still, again, I'll give you an opportunity. So you made it in there. You can see that these figures are coming out of the forest. They're in the daylight now. So if you guys would like to escape again, we'd need to roll a dex check to see if you successfully can get away. Now that they've gained some ground since you guys decided to head into the waste a little bit of time going in the mill.
Yeah.
So they're kind of dashing across the riverbed. Are you guys going to wait for them to reach you, or are you going to flee?
How many do we see?
Let's see. Let's say there are 5. I'll just move this one because he's dead. Just delete him.
I think we should try to run.
Yeah, you should run.
5
for sure.
Okay, so you guys are running. Are you guys like every man for himself or every person for himself? Because the way it works in this game also is it's whoever has the most to lose.
Well, okay, so Erasmus was gonna try to give them a head start on running away.
So you're gonna stay behind?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna like take on the first wave, basically?
Slightly, yeah.
Because that's probably what's gonna happen. So if anybody decides to kind of hold their ground or let anybody else keep running, you're gonna probably have a round of combat at least, and then you have the opportunity to try to escape with a dex check.
Can he give somebody his heirloom pendant in case he doesn't make it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like try to toss to somebody while you guys are frantically making your way out of this mill, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss it over to Rune. She likes magical stuff. Just in case.
Are
Okay,
you
Rune,
sure?
you catch it.
Okay, I shall catch it, but do you have a plan?
Well, the plan is for everybody to get out of here safely.
Yes, but I have this blast sphere. Maybe I could take them all out.
You have a what?
There's no time to tell you about it. If you don't have a plan, you run and you let me take care of it.
All right. And so Erasmus will
She'll throw it back. Not the blast sphere, but she'll throw his...
Yeah, the necklace. He'll grab the necklace and...
You accidentally throw the blast sphere at him.
Blow up.
And he shouts out, Rune's got some kind of blasting plan. Everybody run for it.
Yeah. Sparrow has Jandy by the arm and is trying to make him, lead him faster.
So I'll say he probably has the most to lose out of all of you guys.
I'd say so, yeah.
So he's going to make the dex check to see if you guys successfully are able to escape. So here we go. Okay, wow, a 3 success. So you guys hurry your way. You help him, Sparrow. I'll just move you guys to, or you guys can move yourself. Let's just say there's some dark trees up ahead that you think are going to be enough to obscure your path of escape. Okay, so all of these creatures are approaching you, Rune. What do you want to do? I guess what we got to do first is roll a... You're the only one in initiative, so roll me a dex check, and we'll see if you get your action this round. Oof! No. 20. Okay. Oh. Unfortunately, no. So,
Dead.
These things, mostly, it says, they attack in packs. And in this game, there is a... What's it called? Let me find it really quickly. It's basically like a group attack. And so rather than rolling everybody individually, we roll... What is it called? Detachments. There we go. So for those of you out here who are learning the rules along with us, large groups of similar combatants fighting together are treated as a single detachment. And when a detachment takes critical damage, it is routed or significantly weakened. When it reaches 0 strength, it is destroyed. So attacks against attachments by individuals, that being you, Rune, are impaired. And impaired attacks, while Sparrow got to roll an attack that gave him a bonus, or her a bonus, you get a lower die, which is... What is it? Is it a D6? D4? Where is it? Impaired is a D4 instead of the normal die. So when you attack this thing, if you attack it, I don't know what you're going to do. But then attacks against you by detachments are enhanced and deal blast damage.
They just ran.
It looks like if you do use blast damage, though, that's excluded from the impairment. So if your blast...
Oh, her blast? Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, because it's like an object. It's its own thing.
Oh, what is your object you have, by the way?
A blast sphere.
Okay.
It's awesome.
A blast sphere. Okay, so all of this pack of these night cats hurl themselves upon you, lashing out with claws. So this is going to be 2d12 and take the highest result. So 5. Does Rune have any armor?
No.
Okay, so just subtract 5 from your HP. Oh, but that takes you down. That takes you down to... So in this game also takes you to -1, but not -1. You go to 0 HP and then you have to subtract 1 from strength. So once the damage goes over HP. Now if it landed exactly at 0, we get to run on a fun little table, but unfortunately you went 1 below, which means it's the critical. You have to do a save. Let me check really quick. We're learning, folks. We're learning here, folks. Okay, so critical damage. HP to 0, which you've been. Excess damage takes a strength. So you need to do a strength save with your new score, and your new score is 4. And if you fail, you are terribly injured, which you did. So you rolled a 9, you failed. So you are basically taken to the ground. These claws, you're just overwhelmed by these night cats. And you are crawling on death's door right now. So the way it works in this is it's you can only crawl and you die within 1 hour unless helped.
Cool.
Yeah, if you succeeded, you'd still be on your feet fighting.
Okay. She's gonna say, I want to be with Milky, and she's gonna detonate the bomb.
Oh shit, you're gonna detonate the bomb?
No. She kind of wants to, but she'll slowly bleed out instead.
I don't know. It'd
Okay.
be kind of neat if she already had it in her hand, and when she got taken down, it fell, impacted, and blew up the cats too.
Kind of what she's planning. She's hoping to throw it into the wood, but I guess they gained on her too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, any PT that suffers critical damage cannot do anything but crawl weakly, grasping for life. If given aid, such as bandages, they will stabilize. If left untreated, they die within the hour. NPCs and monsters that fail critical damage save are considered dead, however. These night cats have a very, very painful ability. So what they do, yeah, okay. So these things are starting to feast on your body as you are bleeding out. And
Ugh.
I'm rolling a d4. Okay, so you lose 1 more strength. So you're down to 3 strength now.
Okay.
As these things are just eating at your body. So you guys, I don't know what you're doing. You guys safely made it
Can we
away.
see this?
Yeah, you can see her just being completely overwhelmed. It's just like a big black ball of fur kind of on her, like just, yeah, blood flying, and you hear screaming, and yeah.
Sparrow wants to turn and like leave Jandy in this like this outcrop of trees and brush.
Okay.
And I think that she wants to turn and like run back and join in.
Okay, so Sparrow, what about Ash and Erasmus?
Ash is gonna grab her as we're running.
So you're gonna try to run up and grab Rune?
I'm gonna no, because it's 8 feet. I was
So
gonna
I'll
try to
say
get her
you
with
guys
the
could make it
vine.
there. I'll say you guys can make it there and do a an attack if you'd like. That's probably all you'd be able to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up and try to get Rune with the vine.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think that Sparrow is going to attempt to stab at whatever looks like maybe if one of them has rune that would prevent Ash from pulling her out of the way.
Yeah, I'll
She'll
say there's a
attack that
slightly larger one that seems to be the quote-unquote alpha, who's sort of snarling at the others, as trying to get most of the meat.
Yeah, so she jumps forward and tries to stab that one as Ash is. I see Ash unfurling his whip to try to get her.
Okay.
Now the bomb goes off.
So let's go. Well, we got to know what everybody's doing. So we know Sparrow is going to run up and try to attack these things. We know that Ash is trying to wrap his whip around Rune. What is Erasmus doing? Because Jandy is like, I am not going back. He is way back where you guys left him.
He's gonna be like, just keep running down the road. Get back to town. We're gonna handle this. And then he's gonna run past him, and also he's gonna draw out his own dagger and attack into the pack as well.
Okay, so everybody's attacking. Remember, this is a detachment, so all of your attacks are impaired against this thing. So, why don't you guys roll for me?
So we roll 2 and take the lowest, or no?
So
we
you
roll
got,
4.
are you guys? Well, I guess who are you attacking? So Sparrow is attacking the biggest one, who's like, right on top of Rune, just like tearing at her skin. Are you going to attack the same one, or are you trying to attack a different one?
No, I'll attack the same one.
Okay, so you guys, so basically the highest damage is going to be what we get. So Sparrow got a 6 is the highest.
Yeah, except for there's no impairment thing, so I guess I should just roll, is it 2d4 instead?
Yes, sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
everything impaired is a D4. So that'd be you too, Joey.
So my highest was a 3
Okay.
out
And
of the 2 that
then-
I rolled.
So we got a 3 and a 3. Okay, so it's 3. So you attack the main one. Okay, you tear into its flesh and it snarls at you and it kind of steps off her somewhat distracted. And now it's their turn. So yeah, Ash, you have your whip wrapped around Rune successfully.
Sweet. Am I able to pull her in, or would that be?
I'll say
next?
that's your next turn, yeah, if you want to try to pull
Okay.
her away. So this one's able to, you successfully wrapped around the whip around her. All right, so these things are going to go. And they're going to have Blast, which is, where's Blast? I forget. It's, I think you roll...
It's a D12.
It's a D12, and then, oh yeah, and then it's like however many are there, but I roll each time. Right? Isn't that the rule? I think I roll separately for each person, if I remember correctly. Blast. Let's see. Yeah, blast hits all targets in area. Rolls separately for each target. Okay. So D12. So this will be for Sparrow.
So
This
that
will be
is
for
4.
Erasmus. Oh wait, you're kind of did you sling? I can't remember. Is that what you said you did?
No, I stabbed with a dagger.
Okay, so you're more like up here somewhere then.
Yeah.
You're in melee. Okay. So then you're gonna suffer 2 Erasmus, and then last is gonna be Ash. Ooh, 5. And remember, if you guys have armor, that you take that away from whatever I told you. And then these cats are still feeding on Rune, who's going to lose another 2 strength.
Ooh, so I'm at 0.
Oh, you're at 0. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
when you're
also
at
at
0. Oh, wow. Okay. So at 0, we're at the scars table. So remind me, how many? So 5 damage for Ducky took you to 0. So you are now diseased. You're afflicted with a gross, uncomfortable infection. When you get over it, roll 2d6. If the total is higher than your max HP, take the new result. Oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, you've been clawed by these cats, and you feel just some kind of poisonous infection going through your veins. So yeah, you were... It's weird though, because it like it doesn't appear to hinder you. We can talk about it later. And then wait, did I roll that wrong? Did you suffer 5, Ducky, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and then how many did you suffer, Sparrow, to get you to 0?
So Sparrow took 4, and she has 1 armor, so it knocked her HP to 0 because she had 3.
0, and
HP.
but it was 3 damage.
Correct. Yes.
So you are walloped. You're sent flying and land flat on your face, winded. You are deprived until you rest for a few hours. Then you roll a 1d6 at that amount. Add that amount to your max HP. Okay, that's kind of cool how these scars are.
Yeah.
They're shitty, but then they're also can be beneficial too. So just as a reminder, deprived
I did
means.
check off-
Go ahead.
Deprived on the character sheet. There's a
Oh, you did?
checkbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a deprived PC cannot recover HP attributes or item slots from fatigue. So you're kind of You're kind of exhausted, let's say. All right, and then Erasmus, you didn't get to 0, right?
Yeah, I took 2, but I have an armor of 2. So
Oh,
I took
nice.
none. So I get to live for another 168 hours.
Okay, this is crazy combat so far. All right, so you guys are up next.
Oh, look, Jason, it's 12 o'clock. I guess
Oh, we gotta stop.
Yeah, that's why I said I get to live for another 168 hours.
Okay. We'll have to stop right in the middle of combat. Remind me that it is your turn. When we play again next. And we'll see if these people are gonna. Maybe we won't finish the Trouble in Twin Lakes adventure. We'll find out. But this has been an interesting first combat session. If I did anything wrong, let me know in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys next week for who the hell knows what happens. Thanks for hanging out with us. See you guys next time. Bye.